I'm at Hendry's Beach, and I'm gonna see if I can jog out to Leadbetter right now. It is the morning, and the tide is actually pretty high, so I may not be able to, but yeah. It didn't take too long to kind of get to the rocky section here. My hope is I can make it out all the way to Leadbetter today. We'll see. But there are staircases that go up on the way, you know. Anyways, yeah, beautiful morning in Santa Barbara here. People kind of construct these cabanas, I think, sometimes along the coast, and they're public. This one's got a bunch of surfboards, a towel, some boogie boards, you know, a little stove. So yeah, pretty wild. It's not quite high tide yet, but given that I'm bare feet and it's pretty much all rocky, I'm not super optimistic about this. So there is a little staircase I passed very recently. All right, I'm here now. I actually parked down there, you know, and all of that's Hendry's Beach. Jogged up that way and then came up and around here. And yeah, there's a route actually, if you go around this way too, that I'm gonna take back down. All right, you might be able to tell I got my hair cut a little bit and my attire, right, not quite what I normally wear. I am a professional, you know, so can't always be dressed like a wild man. Anyways, yeah, the sun's setting, and what I figure I might do for the second half of this video is find somewhere nice to tell y'all a story. Now, it's not nighttime, but going through my photos, I did find a nice little story about why you should pick up your trash. Yeah, the scenery here is just gorgeous. You know, I actually did a video here a while ago. I jogged out that way to El Capitan Beach and back, and there was a marine layer the whole time, but I feel like if I were to jog that now, it would be very, very beautiful. Anyways, yeah, I gotta find somewhere to do my story. I actually think I'm just gonna tell my story while I'm walking on the beach, you know, because there are some other people coming behind me, there's someone walking in front of me, and I'd like to kind of keep this story between me and the phone to the best of my ability, you know? So yeah, here it goes. A couple of years ago, maybe, you know, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I actually used to live here in Santa Barbara. It's a wonderful gem of a city, right? I guess I'm technically in Goleta now, but it's kind of all the same, to be honest. You know, you got this wonderful sunset here, gorgeous beaches. It doesn't get as hot as it gets in LA. But yeah, anyways, for 2 of those years, you know, at least within the last like decade or so, I lived in Isla Vista. You know, it's a little college town right along the coast, right next to UCSB. And when I lived in Isla Vista, it was great because every morning I would get up and I would go jogging on the beach. And if the tide was too high, I'd run up on the bluffs. You know, these bluffs, there are some train tracks you may or may not be able to jog on, but I may have, you know. But, you know, yeah, like near Isla Vista, there's a trail, there's all this nice lagoon area, there's the Elwood Bluffs, more Mesa. You can run out to Goleta Beach, lots of nice areas. So I'm gonna put photos in, you'll see them before I say this. But anyways, yeah, so with respect to the trash, I would run, I don't know if I would say this too, but I would swim also, kind of religiously. Like every day I'd run on the beach, I'd make sure I'd stop somewhere, go in the water, you know, swim at least like 10-15 minutes, get out and run back, you know. And so I would do this pretty much every day. And sometimes I'd have to wake up really early, like if I had a very early appointment, I would occasionally go in the dark. And this is a little bit of a sidetrack from the story I'm trying to tell, but yeah, if you swim, you move your arms around in the water, there are bioluminescent bacteria here. Sometimes they're bright, most of the time they're not very bright, but when there's like no moon out, they can be quite visible, you know. So I felt like I was Goku, like, you know, whenever I'd move around, my hands would be glowing. But yeah, okay, the main story, trash, right? So there was one time I was swimming out here, not quite here, maybe a little further back that way at the Elwood Bluffs. And yeah, when you swim, you you see a lot of wildlife sometimes. You'll see, like, you know, seals poke their heads out. You'll see birds. Pelicans will maybe fly right above you. It can be really magical. You know, sometimes dolphins, you get close to a dolphin, it's like being right next to a big horse, but in the water. You know, whales are usually a little further out, but yeah, I've seen it all. I've even seen sea otters here. They normally don't come down this far south, but one time I was swimming and I saw this bird and little duck-like thing, maybe a grebe, I don't quite recall, but it was curious to me, you know, because it looked like its head was sort of tilted down in a weird way, and it looked like it was kind of trying to dive down but unable to, you know. And I was a little surprised by this, but yeah, it was cool, you know, cool to see, but I was a little concerned. So I wound up swimming towards it, and I went out, you know, and I was able to actually grab it, you know, and this was very weird to me. Before I grabbed it, though, I saw that there was this little green thing around its neck, you know, and that was unusual to me. You know, I didn't know what it was, and so I figured, okay, this guy must be in trouble. There's a little green thing around his neck. I'm gonna grab him. So yeah, and sure enough, I did. I swam back with this bird in my hand. I was holding it up in one hand. You know, this piece of trash was like choking this bird almost, like preventing him from being able to dive or something. And yeah, I got to some of the rocks. You know, I just sort of sat down, and yeah, there was like maybe a little piece of a net. I think that's what it was. But this thing was on good. I don't remember if I had my knife. I don't even think I had my knife with me, you know, and I was, you know, maybe take like maybe 5 or 10 minutes to just unwrap this thing from the bird's neck, you know, and sure enough, I eventually did. I have a picture of before and a picture of after that I'm going to include, you know, and so you can see that I saved the bird and I let it go. It was, I think it was thankful, but the thing definitely took off quickly, you know. But there's a good lesson for you, you know, just please pick up your trash, dispose of it properly, you know, even if you do that, it may get out to the ocean. Hopefully it doesn't. But yeah, you know, that's one of those first-hand experiences I have of actually seeing some of the harm trash can do to wildlife directly. So yeah, anyways, I kind of ramble on a little bit there because there was someone hiking past me, and I kind of hear a jet of an airplane behind me. Maybe you can see it, but yeah, I think the sun is almost set. So I think I ended the story at a good time, you know. So expect more stories in the future. They'll probably be mostly at night, but I'm just doing this now to spend a little time at the beach, so when I drive back, the traffic isn't too bad. And I would be jogging, but I don't really want to change my clothes right now. I just don't feel like changing. Anyways, yeah, gonna head back. I also don't know if I said it, but I'm at Haskell's Beach, or a little bit north of Haskell's Beach. So if you want to see beautiful sunsets like this, come to Haskell's Beach.